Welcome back, guys. So today on the docket we got some new stuff that I need to get installed because for the longest time I have not had front turn signals. So when I'm at certain intersections and I'm trying to turn, no one realizes I'm turning. So I knew I didn't want to go back to a factory set. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something cool, a little bit aftermarket, but also a little bit more DIY style. So obviously I'm not going to fully do what I want to do onto this bumper because it's split in half. I have another bumper that's coming. Well, I have to go get it, but I have another bumper. I don't want to do everything that I want to do to that bumper to this one because then it's more for me to transfer over. So we're just going to do the base of mocking up and getting this kind of set and testing, making sure the wiring works because that's more important, and we'll see how it goes. I think this could turn out cool as long as I do the bracketing correctly and have it sitting in there correctly, but I mean, I think it should look pretty awesome. So this is what I picked up from Diode Dynamics. Now, this is not sponsored, but I will leave a link to this product and the website in the description because these guys have some great products, because honestly the quality of the stuff that I got is really good and it's pretty straightforward when it comes to installation and everything like that. So I got a 6-inch switchback LED strip. So when the DRL is on, just a normal standard DRL, it'll be white, and then when the turn signal comes on, it'll be yellow. So this actually will be pretty cool, and it even comes with like the whole pack. It comes with the little tap pieces to go into the old wiring, so I don't have to really splice anything. Instructions are super simple. Trying to figure out the best way for me to create a bracket, because I got the 3 holes to use from the standard DRL. And if we look at this being the top, this hole here, obviously I'm gonna have to use. I may use this one, I just don't want it to be too high on the inside of the hole. Otherwise it's just gonna look a little funky. So I'm gonna have to play around with it and kind of just create a good bracket that sits roughly center and kind of follows the line of the car. At least that's what I'm hoping it'll do. But I mean, we'll see. I'll kind of chop some stuff up. But I mean, like I said, my original plan was I tore apart the old DRLs to take out the wiring harness because I didn't know it came with these little tap-in pieces. I thought I was going to have to hardwire, and I just figured, okay, I need it to be disconnectable in case I got to take the bumper off or anything. I got to be able to disconnect from the car. And I figured I would just use this and splice this together and that would work. Well, they made my job easier because these are still technically disconnectable. These tap on to the old harness in there and then they plug right in. Well, so it looks like the original plan's not going to really work because that's a little too high. So I might have to move this down over, because this is one mounting point, that's one mounting point. I might have to move this down here, and it might be angled down this way, which I wasn't wanting to do, but I don't have a whole lot of places to mount besides that one point because of the crash bar being in the way too. So it might be down as opposed to up, which would be better, but I think I'm gonna have to work with what I got. Alright, so I did just a little bit of testing with the connectivity and all that stuff and making sure that all of it works. So it's just mocked up. This will all have to change, but I wanted to make sure it worked before I created the bracket. Go ahead, hit the lock and unlock. Hit lock first. That's unlock. Hit lock. That's lock. Do unlock again. Alright, turn. Put the key in, do power on. I don't have the standard DRL one hooked up because for some reason it just kept flashing as opposed to staying on. I'm trying to figure out why. Turn the headlights on. So this is half power while the headlights are on, so that'll be like underneath there, which is kind of dope looking. Alright, do left turn signal. Alright, turn that off. And turn headlights off. So it works pretty much all the way, which is good. All right, so splicing in ended up not working because I was getting like some small connectivity issues. So sometimes the turn signal would work, sometimes it wouldn't. When I had the DRL on, sometimes it would flash, sometimes it wouldn't. So like I'm just having connectivity issues using the little splice clips. So I'm gonna go back to the original plan of splicing into the original harness now that I know where everything goes. Just gonna cut the plugs off and then I'll splice it all into here because it's just wasn't working the way I wanted it to, and it's still like airing out on the dash because these were still technically there. So it was reading that there was nothing there, nothing connecting to it, so it was still freaking out on the dash. So hopefully wiring in will alleviate that. If it doesn't, oh well, at least I know it was hardwired in. But hopefully this will also solve the connectivity issues that I'm having, because I just don't think that the little splice clips are actually getting enough wire to get a good enough signal. So I'm just going to hardwire it. That's going to solve a lot of problems. So we'll get this done. I ran out to the store and grabbed some electrical stuff, and I'm just going to get to it. So it looks like I'm having the same issue. So they'll flash when the daylights are on, but with all the other functions they work. So I'm not sure what that could really be. I don't know what, like, are they not getting enough power? They still function under 50% power when the headlights are on. So if I turn the headlights into the on position, you can see 50% power, it's not as bright as before, and 50% power. They both work. Yes, I have a headlight out, but they both work. So I'm not sure if it's too much power for the system, which would be, I mean, completely bizarre. It's a Fiat. It's not like it's putting out tons of power. I did try it with the engine on, and that doesn't seem to affect anything either. So I can't figure it out yet. So that looks good. I'm finishing up the brackets to mount it in. I'm just waiting on a couple things. I need to clean up the wiring a bit, wrap it, so that way it's a little more protected than just open wiring like that. I'll wrap it, run the wires correctly, tuck it. I mean, at the end of the day, I could put them up here on the crash bar. These don't really get, this point doesn't really get hot, and it would kind of run stuff out of the way. I don't know. I got to play with it a little bit. But for the actual wiring parts of the lights, they're done. And I think it'll look really cool when it's back in the car and I have the bumper on and everything. I think it'll look really, really good. So we're on a roll. So that's 50% power, and that's basically as bright as my headlights. So that's pretty crazy, but that's what it looks like at night. Obviously, the wires still need to be run. I just wanted to get that all situated. That's crazy. If you can't tell I have a turn signal up there anymore, you're crazy. That's so bright. So I'm going to finish installing the other bracket tomorrow, and then running all the cords and cables and everything, but that's crazy. That's wild. So, and I got the angle actually looking good too. I got it sloped down, which is what I wanted. I'll give you a full update tomorrow when I get all this figured out and sorted. And there you have it. It's all done and set, and I think these look great. I have a couple wire things to move around because I didn't like where they were placed, but other than that, these are pretty much done. And I would more call these like the prototype for the next bumper, because I needed to kind of understand how I was going to position these before I put them on the next bumper. So these aren't as permanent as what they will be on the next one, but I still think they look great, and quite honestly, it's such a good look for the car. It's definitely, it gets rid of a lot of that bubbliness that the car had. This is definitely a nice little breakup and adds a little more straight lines into the car, and I think it looks great. So I'm super happy with it. I can't wait to put the whole thing together when I have the new bumper and kind of get that all finalized. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's probably going to be on a little bit of the shorter side, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with some shorter style content. I do have some more parts on the way. I still got to do a full brake change out, rotors, pads, all that. I'm doing some aftermarket stuff with that, and then obviously the bumper, the wrap, everything else to come. So we're looking really good to get this car nice and tidy looking for 2024, and I think it's going to be absolutely stunning. So thank you guys for watching. Like, share with your friends, subscribe if you really want to, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.